How to do a proper diet for arm wrestling? This is a question I used to ask myself all the time, and I could never find a video that really explained it properly. Now, after going through multiple weight cuts for tournaments, I figured out what actually works and what you need to pay attention to. So in this video, I will share with you why dieting is extremely important for arm wrestling, why it gives you an advantage over your opponents, and 10 tips that you can apply right away to make your diet easier, smarter, and more successful. So what is a diet and what is the goal of dieting for arm wrestling? In simple terms, the goal is to lose body weight so you can compete in a lower weight class, ideally without losing strength. When you do this correctly, you gain an important advantage, and that is your relative strength increases. Relative strength means how strong you are compared to your body weight. So if you lose a few kilos but maintain nearly the same strength, your strength relative to your new weight class increases. On top of that, most of the time, moving down a weight class gives you anatomical advantages over your opponents. This can include longer fingers, longer levers, a bigger body structure, or thicker wrists. These are all factors that work in your favor when you drop to a lower weight class. Now, most strength sport athletes, including arm wrestlers, usually follow a diet, and then at the end of the diet, they cut the last few kilos before a competition by doing a water cut. Water cut is a very sensitive topic, and I will do a separate video about it. It is extremely important to do it well, otherwise you will feel exhausted and your power levels on the table will drop significantly. The amount of weight that you can lose while dieting without losing strength varies a lot between weight classes. Generally speaking, the bigger you are, the more weight you can cut. It's hard to give you an exact number because many factors come into play, like genetics, how well you can handle dieting, nutrition, and many more, but I would say that losing 7 to 10% of your walk-around weight should be very realistic. With that being said, let's start with the tips, and the first one is start early enough. The sooner you start to lose weight before a competition, the better it is. You need to give your body time to adapt to the weight loss so you don't lose strength. Starting early also allows you to make adjustments along the way if something isn't working. A safe pace is losing about 500 to 750 grams a week. Anything above 1 kilo per week is too much for a strength sport, and you will start losing strength. Another key point is learning to handle hunger. You should get used to the fact that in the first couple of weeks of dieting, you will feel hungry all day long. You will have to suffer in a way, and that's completely normal. As everything in life worth having, it will not come easy. Over time, your body adapts, your stomach shrinks, and it becomes easier week by week. And that's why you need incredible discipline, especially at the beginning of a diet. Learning to control yourself is a very important skill that you will learn while dieting. A smart way to make dieting more manageable is to plan a refeed day. Refeed day is basically a planned cheat day where you will eat whatever you want. Many people think that dieting means going non-stop for weeks or months without a break. We are not bodybuilders. The main principle of a diet is creating a caloric deficit, but that doesn't mean you have to be strict every single day. What I always like to do is 6 days of dieting followed by 1 day of refeed. This approach will work for most people. If you have a great metabolism, you can also do 2 refeed days a week. It is important to experiment, try different things out, and see what works and what doesn't for you personally. Another aspect that you must consider is planning to do a water cut. Professional athletes don't diet all the way down until their exact weigh-in limit. Instead, they diet until they are just a few kilos above the limit and then cut the remaining weight through a water cut. A healthy water cut without losing too much strength should be 2 to 3% of your body weight. That's a safe amount you can lose by manipulating the water in your body. Now let's take a look at a real life example. Let's say your weight right now is 78 kilo and you want to fight in the 70 kilogram category. First, you will diet down until you are around 73 kilogram. The rest of 3 kilo you will cut with the help of a water cut. The next step is probably the most important one, and that is having a routine. This is what helped me the most during my diets and what makes everything much easier. Once you figure out what meals you'll eat, at what time, and other small details, stick to them consistently. Your body adapts very quickly to whatever you feed it regularly, and having a predictable routine makes the diet much easier. Personally, I like to eat the same breakfast every single day while dieting because it keeps everything simple. You'll find that the more consistent you are with your schedule, the less stressful the diet feels over time. Another important step is getting to know your own body. The first time I ever did a diet, it wasn't even for a competition. I decided to experiment and challenge myself to see how much weight I could lose, how my body would adapt, and how long it would take to lose a certain amount. I highly recommend doing the same if you have never dieted before. Take 3 to 4 weeks when you don't have a tournament and experiment with the diet. Without the pressure of a competition, you will be able to understand your body better, figure out what works for you, and learn how your strength level will change during the diet. Next tip is also extremely important, and that is to keep your daily protein intake high. Consuming enough protein daily is important for everyone, not only for strength sport athletes. As an athlete, you should aim between 2 and 2.5 grams of protein per kilo body weight. When you are dieting, protein becomes even more important. Your body is already under stress because you are in a caloric deficit and often hungry. Providing the body with enough protein helps it to maintain the muscle, to recover properly, and even build strength while dieting. Remember, as an arm wrestler, improving your strength is the most important goal. Keeping protein high ensures that your muscle stays filled and your performance doesn't drop. Tip number 8 is to weigh yourself at the same time on the same day each week. I wouldn't recommend weighing yourself every day. Some days you might eat food with more volume than usual, and the scale will show a higher number. But that doesn't mean you have actually gained weight. It's just a temporary thing. Pick one day of the week in the morning and weigh yourself at the same time on the same day every week. By doing this, even if you have days with higher food volume, your weekly weigh-in will accurately reflect your progress because it accounts for the whole week of dieting and not just one day. And just before the final point, one more thing to keep in mind is eating before your training sessions. You will need to figure out your meal timing and how many meals you will eat each day. But never train hungry. For me, eating 1 to 2 hours before training always worked best. You can feel hungry during the day, but during your sessions, you need to feel strong. Having a proper meal before your training sessions ensures that you can train at full capacity even while in a caloric deficit. Finally, one thing that can really affect your results is alcohol intake. And I know this will not be relevant for many of you, but it is worth mentioning. When you are on a diet, your body is already under stress, and everything that you do should help your body to recover faster. Alcohol does exactly the opposite. It reduces protein synthesis, it increases inflammation, and it dehydrates you. That doesn't mean that you can drink anything, but reduce it as much as possible and don't drink after your training sessions. These were 10 tips you can apply to make your diet easier, smarter, and more successful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. I will answer them all. Also, if my videos help you train smarter and get stronger, you can support the channel. Link is down below. Keep your eyes on this channel. Great stuff is coming.